Imagine for a moment that it is a night like any other. It is winter. The air is cold, perhaps the coldest you have ever felt. You are sitting in your home, surrounded by the comfort of modern technology, the hum of the refrigerator, the glow of your phone screen. And then, in a single heartbeat, everything changes. It doesn't start with a bang, but with a silence. The lights flicker and die. You reach for the switch, but nothing happens. You check the streetlights outside. They are gone. But this is not a power outage. You look up at the sky, expecting to see the moon or the stars, but there is only a thick, suffocating blackness. A darkness so heavy, it feels like it is pressing against your chest, and then the earth begins to tremble. Earth begins to. This is not a scene from a science fiction movie. This is a scene from a prophecy that has been whispered about in the Vatican for decades. This is the vision of the 3 days of darkness, and according to the secret writings attributed to Saint Padre Pio, this event is not a metaphor. It is a literal physical event that is coming to reset the history of mankind. Tonight, we are going to open the files that many say the Church tried to keep hidden. We are going to look into the face of the most terrifying warning ever given to the modern world. To understand why this prophecy makes even the most skeptical theologians tremble, you have to understand the man who delivered it. Francesco Forgione, known to the world simply as Padre Pio, was not just a priest. He was a living anomaly. For 50 years, he bore the stigmata, the open bleeding wounds of Christ on his hands and feet. Medical doctors examined him, skeptics monitored him, scientists analyzed him. None could explain why the wounds never healed, yet never became infected. He lost a cup of blood every day, yet he never grew weak. He knew the sins of people before they confessed them. He was seen in 2 places at once. He was a man who lived with 1 foot in our reality and 1 foot in the divine. When a man like this speaks about the future, you do not just listen, you prepare. The year was 1959. It is said that Padre Pio sent a message to his superior, a message that contained a vision of the end times. This was not a message of hope or comfort. It was a deadline. In this letter, he described a great chastisement that would fall upon the earth. He wrote, "The hour of chastisement is near. Divine judgment shall strike the earth like a thunderbolt." But why? Why would a God of love inflict such terror? Padre Pio explained that the world was moving toward a state of total godlessness. He saw a future where men would celebrate perversion, where truth would be twisted into lies, and where humanity would try to replace God with technology and pride. Look around you today. Look at the headlines. Look at the wars, the confusion, the moral collapse. Many experts who study these texts believe that the timeline he saw is not in the distant future. It is now. The prophecy describes the onset of the event with terrifying detail. It will happen on a very cold night. The wind will begin to howl, but it won't sound like normal wind. It will sound like the screams of the earth itself. Thunder will shake the ground violently, triggering earthquakes across the globe. But the most frightening aspect is the darkness itself. Padre Pio described it as impenetrable. This means no streetlights, no car headlights, no flashlights, and no screens will work. The darkness will swallow everything. It is a spiritual darkness that physics cannot explain. Imagine the panic. People running into the streets, cars crashing into invisible obstacles, the screams of the confused and the terrified. The prophecy warns that this confusion is the first trap. Those who are outside when the darkness falls, those who are caught in the open will face a horror that the human mind cannot process. The air will become unbreathable for those without protection, filled with strange pestilence and the smell of sulfur. But the warning goes deeper. Padre Pio stated that during these 72 hours, 3 days and 3 nights, the gates of the abyss will be opened. The enemies of the soul will be given permission to roam the earth. This is why the event is called a chastisement. It is a purging. The entities that will walk the streets during this blackout are not of this world. This is why the primary command of the prophecy is so strict. Go inside, lock your doors, close your windows. It sounds simple, doesn't it? Just stay inside. But the prophecy warns that the psychological pressure will be unbearable. The darkness will not just be outside your house, it will try to get inside your mind. You will feel an overwhelming urge to look out, to check on your neighbors to see if the world is still there. But the instruction is absolute. Do not look out. Do not look into the eyes of the wrath of God. We are standing on the edge of this precipice. The signs that Padre Pio spoke of, the clouds of fire, the strange weather patterns, the confusion in the church, are all appearing in our daily news cycles. The stage is set. The actors are in place. The only thing missing is the darkness itself. But when it comes, it will be too late to learn the rules. You need to know them now. You need to know exactly what supplies to have, what words to say, and what specific object is the only thing that will allow you to see in the dark. This is not just a story. This is a survival manual for the soul and the body. In the next part of this investigation, we are going to walk you through the specific instructions left by the saint. We will tell you about the blessed wax, the only light source that will function, and the terrifying deception of the voices that will try to lure you outside. If you value your life and the lives of your family, you cannot afford to miss what comes next. The darkness is coming, but there is a way to survive it. The first hour will be the hardest. You will be standing in the center of your living room, engulfed in a darkness so absolute that you cannot see your own hand in front of your face. The temperature will drop rapidly. The heating systems will be dead. The hum of the city, the traffic, the distant sirens, the life will be replaced by a terrifying, unnatural cacophony. The wind will roar with a ferocity that shakes the walls, and the earth will tremble beneath your feet as if it is in pain. Millions of people will be panicking, trying to flee, trying to start their cars, trying to find a flashlight that works. But for them, it is already too late. For you, however, the survival protocol has just begun. Padre Pio left us a specific, rigid set of rules. These are not suggestions. These are the laws of physics for a world turned upside down. If you break them, you invite the darkness in. The first and most critical rule concerns the light. In our modern arrogance, we believe we can conquer the dark with technology. We have LEDs, generators, tactical flashlights. But the prophecy is explicitly clear. During these 3 days of chastisement, no artificial light will function. The physics of electricity will be suspended. You can flip the switch. You can crank the generator. It will remain dead. The only source of light that will be permitted to burn is a candle made of pure beeswax. Why beeswax? In the ancient tradition, the beeswax candle represents the purity of the flesh of Christ. It is a holy object. Padre Pio stated, "Only the blessed candles will give light. One such candle will suffice for 3 days, but nothing else will light." This is the first test of your preparation. Do you have them? Are they in your drawer right now? Because when the blackout hits, you will not be able to go to the store. You will be fumbling in the dark, and without that holy flame, the psychological weight of the darkness will crush you. The light of this candle will not just be for vision. It will be a spiritual barrier, a small circle of safety in a world swallowed by the abyss. Rule number 2, seal the perimeter. This is where the discipline of the survivor is tested. As soon as you realize the event has begun, you must close every window, pull the blinds, draw the curtains. If you have gaps, tape paper or blankets over them. You must not see the outside world. This sounds easy, but it fights against every instinct you have. We are visual creatures. When we hear a crash outside, When we hear the wind tearing the roof off a neighbor's house, our instinct is to look, to witness. But Padre Pio warned, do not look out. Do not be curious to see what is happening outside. The text suggests that the entities roaming the earth, the executors of this divine justice, are so terrifying that the mere sight of them could kill a person from fright. It is similar to the biblical story of Lot's wife. She looked back at the destruction of Sodom and was turned to a pillar of salt. Do not look back. Do not peek through the blinds. Consider your home a submarine deep underwater. To open a window is to drown. Rule number 3, the deception of voices. This is the most terrifying aspect of the prophecy, the one that keeps believers awake at night. The darkness is not empty. It is intelligent, and it knows your weaknesses. Padre Pio warned that the demons will use trickery to get you to open the door. They will not come knocking as monsters. They will come sounding like victims. You will sit in your candlelit room, praying, and you will hear a voice outside your front door. It might sound like your neighbor screaming for help. It might sound like the police offering rescue. But in the cruelest twist of all, it might sound like your own family. Imagine hearing the voice of your child, your mother, or your spouse crying on the other side of the door. Please let me in, it's cold. They are coming for me. Open the door. Every fiber of your being will scream at you to unlock that deadbolt, but you must not. The prophecy warns that these are mimicries, demons imitating the voices of loved ones to lure the faithful out of their sanctuary. It is a psychological siege. You have to understand, anyone who was outside when the darkness fell is beyond your help. To open the door is not to save them, it is to doom everyone inside. You must sit tight. You must cover your ears. You must pray louder than they scream. Rule number 4, spiritual warfare. You are not just hiding, you are fighting a battle. The air outside will be thick with the stench of sulfur, the smell of hell itself. It will try to seep through the cracks under the doors. The only way to keep the air inside breathable and the atmosphere calm is through prayer. The rosary is cited as the ultimate weapon. It is the shield. The prophecy says to gather your family around the candle, kneel, and pray without ceasing. Do not sleep. Keep the vigil. Read spiritual books. Talk to God. The prayer creates a dome of protection that the entities outside cannot penetrate. For 72 hours, your house will be a fortress. You will eat your stockpiled food, simple rations, dried goods, water. You will not feast. You will survive. The sounds outside will change. The howling will turn to thundering, the thundering to strange, unearthly roars. The earth will shake violently, cracking foundations. But if you have the candle, and if you keep the door locked, you will be safe. It will feel like an eternity. You will lose track of time. Is it day? Is it night? The darkness outside will never lift, not for a second. Doubts will creep in. Will this ever end? Are we the only ones left? Did the sun die? You must fight these thoughts. You must hold on to the promise. 3 days, 3 nights. And then, just when you think your mind can take no more, the noise will stop. The shaking will cease. A strange, heavy silence will fall over the world. This is the signal. The purge is over. But you must not rush out yet. You must wait for the sign that the new dawn has arrived. In the final part of this video, we will tell you what happens on the morning of the 4th day. We will describe the world you will step into, a world changed forever. And we will give you the final checklist of physical preparations you need to make today to ensure you are not left in the dark when the switch is flipped. The most important part is yet to come. 72 hours. It sounds like a short time, but when you are locked in a pitch-black room listening to the sounds of judgment outside, it will feel like a lifetime. But then, inevitably, the moment comes. It begins with silence. The howling wind that has battered your home for 3 days will suddenly fade. The violent tremors of the earth will settle into stillness. The screaming voices will vanish back into the void. You will be sitting there, exhausted, holding the stub of your beeswax candle, wondering if it is finally over. And then, you will see it. A thin line of light cracking through the seal of your window. It will not be the pale gray light of a winter morning. The prophecy describes the first sunrise after the darkness as something majestic. The sun will rise, golden and brilliant, casting a light that feels cleaner, sharper, and more alive than anything you have ever seen before. This is the sign. The trial is over. You can finally unlock your door. You can finally step outside. What you will find is a world that has been transformed. Padre Pio's prophecy does not end in total destruction. It ends in purification. The 3 days of darkness are described as a great cleansing. The industrial smog, the pollution, the noise, it will all be gone. The air will smell of ozone and wet earth, fresh and revitalized. The water in the rivers will run clear. Nature will look vibrant, as if the earth itself has taken a deep breath for the first time in centuries. But the biggest change will be in humanity itself. The texts speak of a new era of peace that follows the chastisement. The corruption that plagued our governments, the perversion that rotted our culture, the hatred that divided our nations, it will have been swept away with the darkness. The survivors will be the ones who believed, the ones who humbled themselves, the ones who prayed. It will be a return to simplicity, a time of unparalleled spiritual springtime. For a period of time, it is said that the remaining humanity will live in total harmony with God and with each other. No more wars, no more lies, a golden age. It is a beautiful vision. It is the hope that makes the terror worth enduring. But here is the hard truth: we are not there yet. Right now, you are still in the old world. You are still in the danger zone. The warning has been given, the signs are appearing, but the darkness has not yet fallen. This means you still have time, but the window is closing. So what must you do today? Do not click away from this video without a plan. You need to prepare 2 things: your soul and your home. First, the physical preparation. This weekend, go out and procure the essentials. Number 1, pure beeswax candles. I cannot stress this enough. Do not rely on paraffin candles. The prophecy is specific. Buy them, and if you are a believer, have them blessed by a priest. Put them in a drawer where you can find them in total blackness. Number 2, a stockpile of food and water. You do not need a bunker, but you need enough to feed your family for at least a week without opening your door. Canned goods, dried fruit, bottled water. Number 3, blankets and warm clothing. The prophecy states the darkness comes with a bitter cold. The heating will not work. You must be able to stay warm. Second, and most importantly, the spiritual preparation. The darkness is a spiritual test. Fear is the enemy. Padre Pio's most famous quote is the key to survival. Pray, hope, and don't worry. Worry is useless. Panic is dangerous. Preparation is power. Look at the world today. The tension is building. The clouds of fire are gathering. The timeline is aligning. You do not want to be the person standing in the grocery store line when the lights go out. You do not want to be the person banging on your neighbor's door when the wind starts to howl. You want to be the one inside, the one with the candle, the one who is ready. We will be covering more forgotten prophecies, secret Vatican warnings, and survival guides in our upcoming videos. There are other mystics who saw the same vision, and their details might shock you even more. If you want to be part of the community that survives, not the one that panics, make sure you are subscribed and have your notifications turned on. The warning has been delivered. The choice is now yours. Will you be ready when the sun sets and doesn't rise? Stay in the light.